Hi guys, it's V. I recently had an opportunity to take a vacation that spanned 3 weeks. During this vacation, I flew from Atlanta to New Orleans to visit my friend Tanisha. Once in New Orleans, the next evening we drove from New Orleans through Mississippi, Alabama, and down to Panama City Beach, Florida. We stayed in Panama City Beach, Florida for a week and a half before driving back to New Orleans, where I stayed an additional week and a half with her. Here are some of the restaurants and some of the meals that I enjoyed during my vacation. The first meal I enjoyed after arriving was at Landry's Seafood House. Now, this restaurant is on Lakeshore Drive, and it is one of my favorite restaurants, and I always try to visit this spot when I'm in New Orleans. Hi, so I'm at Landry's, one of my favorite spots here in New Orleans. I love this crab and shrimp pasta dish that they have. So it's beautiful. It's on Lakeshore Drive. It's on the waterfront, so the atmosphere and the surroundings are just gorgeous. So you get to come and sit and have dinner and watch the sunset. And I just love that. This is my view. So we have the privilege to be served today by Miss Laney, and she is awesome.
Thank you.
So now we're going to take a break to order our meal, and we'll be back. So here are the appetizers. This is fried zucchini. Doesn't that look good? And that is, what is this?
Crab and corn bisque.
Crab and corn bisque. Doesn't that look delicious? Doesn't it look delicious? So I am having dinner with my sister Tanisha in this beautiful restaurant, in this beautiful setting, and we're about to go in. So our entrees have come, and I just want to show what we have. So for me, I ordered the shrimp and crab capellini, and I got extra shrimp. And this is what it is. It's just shrimp and crab and an angel hair butter sauce. And Tanisha has plank salmon, mashed potatoes, dirty rice, and asparagus. Doesn't that look good, guys? Doesn't that look divine? Look at that. I really love Landry's. It's really good. All right, guys, we're going in. Now that the meal is done, should I get dessert? So I ordered dessert, and they had the choice of bananas Foster, bread pudding, creme brulee, a chocolate cake, and this key lime pie. And I chose the key lime pie. Doesn't that look delicious? Look at the little garnish. Isn't that beautiful? Fresh berries and lime. Really enjoying my meal. After dinner, I wanted to catch the sunset, and Tanisha knew of a great spot close to the marina. So we left the restaurant and went to this area and caught this beautiful sunset. Blowing kisses to my grandbabies. I love and miss you guys. The next evening, we headed out towards Panama City Beach, Florida. Along the way, we stopped at a Buc-ee's in Robertsdale, Alabama, which is right outside of Mobile. Now, I didn't realize that they didn't sell beaver tots after breakfast, so I got just a sandwich instead. These brisket sandwiches are delicious. Now I'm getting a little excited because we're crossing the Florida state line, and that means I'm one step closer to the beach. As I stated, we left in the evening and it was dark when we arrived, but I couldn't wait until the next day to begin this Florida leg of the vacation. So the next morning, we got up early and wanted to have breakfast. And what's the best low-cost place to go get a meal if you're in the South? The Waffle House. Fun fact, the first Waffle House was opened in the county in which I currently live. There's nothing like a Waffle House breakfast to start your day. Because we had such a large breakfast that morning, we decided to forego lunch and wait until dinner. And we found this very good Mexican restaurant there called Guadalajara. As you can see, I ordered queso. Now, I didn't like the chips as they were kind of hard and thick, and I love a very thin, crispy chip with my queso. Now, I had what was called the Guadalajara plate, and it included a chalupa, chile relleno, an enchilada, a tamale, and a taco with refried beans and rice. The next day we decided to eat in, but if we hadn't, I really wanted to try this spot that was called the Waffle Omelet House. Unfortunately, a year ago it was destroyed in a tornado, and as you can see, the building still has not been completely demolished, and they're still rebuilding some of the things in the area. The next evening, we decided to go to Schooners, which is a very popular restaurant in Panama City Beach. That also means that you will have longer wait times than at normal restaurants, so please be patient. Now, their food is delicious, and also every evening they shoot off a live cannon, and then they have beautiful views of the sunset, which several people come to watch. As an appetizer, we had the smoked tuna dip, and it was delicious. We also had the cowboy bites that have corn, jalapeno, and cheese inside. I wasn't a fan and would have rather just had hush puppies. Now the blackened grouper, on the other hand, delicious. And these are gator bites. Like I stated, many people come for the food and stay for the sunsets. These sunsets are spectacular. The next morning, I prepared a steak, egg, and cheese sandwich because I didn't want to get too full because I knew we were going to another one of my favorite local spots, and I didn't want to have a full belly. Now, Local Steamers is one of those restaurants, if you eat seafood, that you have to try. It is a very small establishment, and you can't even eat inside. They have some seating outside, but most people probably just take it back to their places where they're staying. Well, when you walk in, you have to go to a kiosk to customize an order for what you want, and then they prepare it. As you can see, I also had dessert. The staff is amazing. They were interacting with me. We were laughing and having a good time. And as you can see, yeah, it was delicious. The next evening, we decided to grill out. So we went to Publix and picked up some Kobe ground beef brisket burgers. And we had burgers, coleslaw, and fries. Delicious. So the next evening, we wanted to go to a restaurant called Thai Basil, but it was closed, so we had to regroup. We saw another restaurant in the distance called Uncle Ernie's, and we decided to try it. The food was delicious. As you can see, they say they have the best sunsets in the area, and I would have to agree. So this is the meal we had for appetizers: smoked tuna dip and oyster mushrooms. They were also delicious. We also had bread with olive wood. For my meal, I ordered the ribeye with jumbo lump crab meat on top with a lobster tail. Delicious. I'm so glad that we actually stopped at this restaurant, and now it will be added to my list of faves. The next day, we decided to drive to Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, to go to one of my favorite restaurants. That's right, guys, back at Stinky's. So in a previous vlog, vlog number 11, I did an entire vlog on Stinky's. And what was cool was that some of the staff saw the video. So we're at Stinky's, and I've ordered this thing called a crawfish mac and cheese with a stuffed wing. He says there's seafood stuffing inside the wing. But this is another reason why I love Stinky so much. Look at this silverware. Look at how clean this is. This place never disappoints. Never. Awesome. Look at that. So now we basically only have one more full day left. And on that day, we went to the Alibi, which is a local sports bar. We grabbed lunch because we wanted to go back and watch the Georgia game. So we got the food to go. We ordered their wings and tots. Now it's time to head back to New Orleans. And of course, on the way, where do we stop? You guessed it, Buc-ee's. This time I picked up one of those stuffed chickens and prepared it. After arriving in New Orleans the next day, while running errands, I saw a Café du Monde, and I asked if we could stop because I realized that I had not yet had beignets. Now, New Orleans is a city where everyone can find something that they enjoy. And if you can't find something to eat in this city that you enjoy, then you should possibly be on an island by yourself. On this particular evening, we went to a restaurant called Banana Blossom. As with a lot of restaurants in New Orleans, this restaurant had a very small, intimate setting. The staff was amazing and the food was delicious. I know what you're thinking. This lady always says food is delicious. When I go to an establishment and the food is good and I want to return for a second time, or third or fourth or fifth, that's when I say it's delicious. If not, I'll just say, oh, it was okay or mediocre. And yes, I have a lot of favorite restaurants. One way that I know if a restaurant is good or not, I always check the silverware to see if the silverware is clean. Oh, very heavy, nice silverware. Silverware is clean. This is tom yum soup. Roti. This is smoked wings with kimchi rice. And this is all of the accoutrements for the kimchi rice on the side. This sauce is curry and it has coconut in it, so unfortunately I can't eat it. But everything looks delicious. Look at this. Oh. And yes, when I saw this particular dessert on the menu, I had to order it. I had a dessert that was reminiscent of another dessert I previously had. The dessert I previously had was called the Polynesian Black Pearl, and I got that dessert in Maui, Hawaii at a restaurant called Mama's Fish House. Now this is a photo of the dessert that I had in Maui, Hawaii at Mama's Fish House. Don't they look similar? But they are completely different. And I literally wanted that dessert for months. So this is very reminiscent of it. But this is called a hazelnut dome. So just kind of show you guys what it looks like. And I want to cut into it because I don't know what's in it and I'm excited. Oh, it has like a shell in it. Okay, so it's hard. I can't. Okay, I don't know what's in it. I can't, because I can't eat the bottom. Oh, it's just pure chocolate. It's unique. You definitely taste the hazelnut. And I can't understand what the crunchy thing is at the bottom, but it's unique. Nothing like the Polynesian Black Pearl. Completely different, but good nonetheless. The next day we decided to take a ferry over to Algiers Point, where we then walked to a local taco stand called Barracuda. Now I had visited this establishment in the past, and their tacos are very unique. They literally put pomegranate in it, and it's very tasty. So we decided to stop here and have lunch. If you look carefully, you'll see pieces of pomegranate inside of the taco. So the next day we went to a restaurant called Alma, and this is a Honduran restaurant. So by far, this was my favorite restaurant experience, and in a few minutes you're going to see why. As I stated earlier about New Orleans, a lot of their restaurants are very small and intimate. This means that you can go with a couple of friends during the day, have brunch, have lunch, and just have a good experience because it's not overcrowded. Although the restaurant is very small and quaint, as you can see, they have a full service bar. At the time of this video upload, this was the lunch brunch menu and the prices. This is our server, Mary. She was such a delight. She was very courteous and attentive. So what is this, you may ask? Well, this is chicharrones with plankton. Now, as this is a Honduran restaurant, if you've never been to one, like this was my first time, there are a lot of unique things on the menu. I would say venture out of your comfort zone and try some of the dishes. This is Miss Melissa, the owner of Alma. And when I saw her, I was excited because I had read an article on her. So I went up to her, introduced myself, and expressed that I was excited about visiting her establishment and trying her food. Now, how is this for service? Miss Melissa actually brought our food out to our table. Then she explained to us what was in each dish, and then proceeded to give us a testimony about how she started the restaurant.
with sage, and then you got the crawfish into it.
Thank you so much.
So that is truly an Alma creation right there. Belongs to Alma.
I have one more question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. What does the symbol mean?
So Ishel is the goddess of life. She's the weaver of life. So, like everything, the Mayans and every culture to it, especially more the Mayan to it, the goddess, especially Ishel, women are the tree of life. Without us, they won't exist. So we were life. We have the power. We have lost that power because we let them loose. So it's about us. It's about creation. It's about life itself. So this restaurant is created. It's a reflection of who I am. I was told for 5 years that this was not possible. Every investor said you can't. Under food won't work. So I saved my money and I opened it up. And 4 years later, we are James Beer nominee up for Best Chef in the South.
Oh my gosh.
With ethnic food, Honduran food. We are one of the favorite spots in the city for brunch. We just launched dinner service again today, so you all should come back for dinner. We have one of the specials tonight is Chilean sea bass with a parchment and leek puree in the bottom, and then we're gonna do a nice crust with lightly pickled English cucumbers. We're gonna do the scales like that, and then we're gonna put a wine LeBlanc sauce around it. So, ladies, I recommend that you come for dinner tonight. It's gonna be good.
Guys, do you see this? No, let me lift this up so you can see this deliciousness. Do you see that? This is a chicken thigh. It's an egg. It's a sauce on a cat head biscuit with crawfish. This is, and let me get it because I don't think the photos are going to do it justice. This is Eggs Benedict, guys. But you're like, what? It's Eggs Benedict, but what is that? That is a crab on top. A whole soft shell crab on top. Guys, if you're ever in New Orleans, find Alma's. It is a Honduran eatery. She just gave her testimony as to so many people said it wouldn't work, but it is good. So at one point I had to use the restroom, and I had to come back and grab my camera so that you guys could see the artistry on the walls. I mean, the restaurant just gives you a whole vibe of peace. Fresh flowers, the artwork, the cleanliness of it. Everything about Alma's was a wonderful experience. This is a tres leches cake, guys. Do you see the milk in the bottom? Look at the seasonal fruit on top with granola. Oh, that looks divine. So we also stopped at Loretta's, which is a praline bakery. It was started by Loretta Harrison. She was the first African-American woman to open a praline bakery in the city of New Orleans. Unfortunately, she passed away in 2022, but her dream still lives on. So for my last full evening in New Orleans, you can pretty much guess where I wanted to go back to. I wanted to go back to Landry's. So This time we took Tanisha's nephews with us, and we had a great time. So this is my last day in New Orleans, and I always try to book my flights a little later in the evenings so that I can always do brunch before leaving. And this is the restaurant that we visited for brunch. This restaurant is called Beer Cat. They had an amazing staff as well. They were very accommodating. As you can see, they set us by this window, but the AC was blowing directly in my face, and I asked to be moved, and they accommodated us even though they had a long line of people outside waiting to get in. Beer Cat's menu had a large assortment of flavored teas, and I wanted to try one. So the tea that I picked had like a milk base to it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite. I continued to drink it because I was kind of cold. Here's what I ordered. I ordered a breakfast plate that came with eggs, potatoes, bison sausage, and pancakes. So I'm trying the bison sausage for the first time. And although I thought it was going to be good because bison burgers aren't that bad, I wasn't really a fan of the bison sausage. And as Tanisha's meal came with bacon, she allowed me to taste her bacon. So I tasted the bacon, I liked the bacon, so then I ordered bacon as a side. So my 3-week vacation has come to an end. I have enjoyed every moment of the vacation. From traveling from Atlanta to New Orleans, from New Orleans to Panama City, from Panama City back to New Orleans, and now arriving safely back in Atlanta. So I want to thank my friend Tanisha for her gracious hospitality. Whenever visiting New Orleans, she always has an array of things planned for us to do. I can't thank her enough. I have enjoyed this vacation, and I hope to one day again be able to take another 3-week vacation, but this time maybe to someplace tropical or somewhere on the West Coast. If you have made it to the end of the video, I want you to know how grateful I am for you watching because this is a pretty lengthy one. Thank you so much. I hope that it's given you ideas if you ever want to go to some of the places that I traveled and try some of those restaurants. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.